We love food colored green, bell peppers and long string beans, pickles, celery, cucumbers too. All these foods are good for you.
Welcome to Storytime Cooks, where we learn about food through books. Today we're reading Pancakes by Eric Carlisle. This book is published by Simon & Schuster, and I thought it would be fun to read a breakfast story since we're going back to school, and breakfast is a really important meal of the day. Cockle-doodle-doo, crowed the rooster. Jack woke up and looked out the window and thought, I'd like to have a pancake for breakfast. Jack's mother was already up and busy. Mother, said Jack, I'd like to have a big pancake for breakfast. I'm busy and you're going to have to help me, she said. How can I help? Asked Jack. We'll need some flour, she replied. Take a sickle and cut as much wheat as the donkey can carry, and then take it to the mill, and the miller will grind it into flour. When Jack had enough wheat, he put it on the donkey's back and took it to the miller. We are very fortunate. We don't have to go to that much trouble to get flour. Can you grind this wheat for me? He asked. I need it for a big pancake. First, we must separate the grain from the chaff, said the miller, and he gave Jack a flail and spread the wheat onto the ground. And the miller took another flail, and they began to beat the wheat with it. Jack helped with the threshing, and soon there was a big pile of straw and chaff and a small pile of grain. The miller pounded the grain on a large flat stone. On top of it was a round millstone connected to the water wheel on the outside. The water wheel turned round and round, turning the millstone round and around too to grind the wheat into flour. And at last the miller gave Jack a bag of flour. Here's the flour, shouted Jack. Now let's make a pancake. But his mother said, now we need an egg. Jack went to the black hen and fed her some grain that had slipped into his pocket while he had been threshing. Cluck, cluck, said the black hen, and went inside the hen house. Then she said, cluck, cluck, once more, and she laid an egg. So he went to the hen and got the egg. Wonder what he's going to need next. I bet it's going to be some milk. Here's an egg, shouted Jack. Let's make a pancake. But his mother said, now we need some milk. So Jack went to the spotted cow and began to milk her. Moo, moo, said the spotted cow as the milk squirted into the pail. Here's the milk, said Jack. Let's make a pancake. But his mother said, now we need some butter. Jack caught the butter churn and held it between his knees, and his mom scooped the cream from the top of the milk and put it in the butter churn, and Jack pushed the churn handle up and down, and finally the cream turned into butter. Here's the butter, shouted Jack. Let's make a pancake. But his mother said, we need to build a fire. Jack went to the woodshed and brought some firewood. Here's the firewood, shouted Jack. Let's make a pancake. But his mother said, wouldn't you like to have something sweet on your pancake? So Jack went down to the cool cellar and pulled a jar of strawberry jam from one of the shelves. Here's the strawberry jam, shouted Jack. Let's make a pancake. In the kitchen, Jack's mother had filled the table with the flour and the egg and the milk and the butter. There was also a mixing bowl and a measuring cup and a wooden spoon and a ladle and a frying pan and a plate, a knife and a fork and a spoon, and the jar of strawberry jam. Look at all the things that it took to make that pancake. His mother said, put a cupful of flour into the bowl, break an egg into the flour, and then stir. Pour a cupful of milk over the flour and the eggs and stir again until the batter is smooth and not lumpy. Jack's mother heated the frying pan over the fire and added a piece of butter. The butter melted fast, and then she said to Jack, now pour a ladleful of batter into the hot pan. And that's what they did. After a minute or two, she looked at the underside of the pancake, and it was golden brown. Now watch, she said. I'll turn the pancake over. Ready? Ready, shouted Jack. Flip, said his mother. Up and over went the pancake high into the air and landed right in the pan. In another minute or two, the pancake was crisp on the underside as well. Then she slipped the pancake from the frying pan onto the plate and spread some strawberry jam on it. And now Jack, his mother, started to say, but Jack said, oh, Mom, I know what to do now. And he has got a bite of that pancake in his mouth. What do you think he's going to do now? I think he may be going to eat it. And it was delicious. So when we think about breakfast, sometimes when we're getting ready to go back to school, breakfast can be a little bit rushed. But you can actually have breakfast any meal of the day. I really like having breakfast for dinner. But I thought we would just chat a minute about some of the different things that we might have for breakfast. You could have that pancake and you could put some strawberries on it or some applesauce on it. Or you might do something like cereal with fruit or oatmeal with some banana. I like banana and peanut butter in my oatmeal. I think that's really good. If you're not really wanting to cook something for breakfast, you could just take some apple slices and peanut butter, and that makes a yummy breakfast. You could have an orange, you could have some scrambled eggs, you could even have some leftovers. You could have cold pizza, you could have a taco, you could have spaghetti. Just because it's breakfast doesn't mean that you need to eat this kind of food. You can eat whatever kind of food that you like. A peanut butter sandwich works really well, but it's important that we pick food that have nutrients. Donuts are yummy, and they're fun every once in a while, but they really don't give us the energy that we need in order to start our day off right. So try to pick something for breakfast from one of the different food groups and have a glass of milk with it. That's a great way to wash it down. Thank you for joining us for Storytime Cooks, and we hope you'll come back next week as we continue to learn about food through books.
We love food colored green, bell peppers and long string beans, pickles, celery, cucumbers too.